Hello everyone, and today I want to go through a game between Hikaru Nakamura and John Loyte in the US Open 2001. And this is a young Nakamura, and it just shows the simplicity that a top player needs to have in order to beat lesser players. I just thought this game was very interesting because there's technically nothing very special about it, but there's so much you can learn from it if you're a player, say 2000 FIDE rating, on how to clear up after you're slightly ahead in a game. So Nakamura here is white and John Loyte is black. Hikaru plays e4, black plays d5 and knight c3 here, followed by d4 from black to attack the knight on c3. The knight now moves to e2 and e5 is played by black to support the d4 square. Knight g3 now, and knight f6 from black, and knight f3 attacking the e5 pawn. So this is all very standard stuff at the moment. Bishop d6 protects the pawn, and white develops nicely with bishop c4 aiming at the king side, and castles from both sides. And here black decides to play bishop to g4 to pin that knight. This is all very standard stuff at the moment, but here black actually goes a bit wrong. Here Hikaru plays h3, attacking the bishop and kicking it away. Now this is where black makes a mistake. Here bishop h5 is played, but bishop e6 would have kept black relatively even in the game. So if bishop takes e6, f takes, white can now follow up with c3, threatening c takes d4 here, followed by e5, which is forking in two pieces. So black could play c5 and after takes and captures this way in d3. This is a very even game. Black's got two double pawns, but white's got two clunky knights on the king side, so it's anyone's game at the moment. Here though, black plays bishop to h5, and here Hikaru shows the signs of a strong player. There's a tactic here, so he takes on h5, the knight recaptures, and of course after knight takes d4, white's just simply won a pawn, because if e takes d4 here, the queen can now capture the knight on h5, and white's just a pawn up. So here black does now indeed play the best move. He plays knight g3, and what this does is gives white double pawns. White's best move here is actually knight e6, ignoring g3, and after f takes, bishop takes and king h8, once we recapture, white is now two pawns up and white should be able to win easily here. After knight g3 though, Hikaru actually spotted something else. He took on g3 first, f takes g3 and e takes d4, and d3 just to secure everything. Now I think d3 is actually a really good move here, and I don't think many players would actually see it. I think most people might be tempted to play queen g4 or g4 here to protect this g3 pawn, but Hikaru sees that he doesn't actually need to keep this weak pawn. He can play d3 now, and once bishop takes g3 there is another tactic. Queen g4 could also be played here, followed by bishop to e5 because it's under threat, and if bishop g5 the queen's forced to move, and white now gets a nice game with rook f5 attacking the bishop. If the bishop moves to like f6, white just wins it with capture because that g-pawn's pinned, and if followed by knight c6 to protect the bishop, rook af1, white's got an easy game now. The f7 pawn's under so much fire and this g7 pawn's pinned, so black's got a terrible game. Instead of queen g4 though, Hikaru just simply plays rook takes f7 here, and once rook captures again, the bishop captures, check, and if now king captures, queen f3 can be played, and after king g8 just recapture the bishop. White's got a pawn up, the passed pawn is on e4, bishop to g5 will be played next, followed by rook f1. White's got an easy game, and Hikaru should convert a position like this against such a player. Instead though, black plays king h8 here, and now white just plays queen to g4 attacking the bishop, and it drops back to e5. And it's this type of position here I just want to have a look at, because white's now clearly winning, he's a pawn ahead, but how would a strong player convert this? So I think Hikaru follows logically here. He's got two pieces that he needs to develop, the rook on a1 and the bishop on c1. So first move is develop the bishop to g5, attacking the queen. The bishop rolls back to f6, and we notice here that black's also very underdeveloped. The 8th rank is so weak, the king on h8 can be mated if that queen ever moves. So now Hikaru responds with bishop takes f6. And if queen takes f6 here, just queen c8 and it'll be mate. So after bishop takes f6, black is now forced to play g takes f6. And Hikaru does the logical thing once again, just plays rook f1, develops his last piece onto the open file. And now black does the same, knight d7, so this game isn't exactly over yet. But again, what would you play as white now? So you're in a winning position, you're a pawn ahead, how would you convert this win? Well, the knight's just moved to d7, so what can we do here? Hikaru decides to play bishop to e6 to attack the knight and force it to move away. So it goes knight c5, and now we don't want to swap pieces as white here. That bishop's much stronger than that knight. So Hikaru now reroutes this bishop to f5, and he actually comes up with a very clever plan. He notices that this king is very exposed, and there's only one pawn protecting it, this pawn here. So if somehow white could now get this rook onto this file here, black would be doing very badly. So this is why bishop f5 was played. And black here plays queen to e7, the simple plan of playing rook g8 and trying to get out of this trap. But here Hikaru played a genius move, and I'll give you 5 seconds just to pause the video or just think about this. What would you play here? So Hikaru here now played an amazing move, bishop takes h7. So let's have a look. If king takes this, what happens? Well, white can now play rook f5, threatening mate on h5 and attacking the knight on c5 at the same time. If queen g7 to give the king a safe space on g8, white can now just play queen h5 check, king g8 and rook takes c5. White's a few pawns up and it'll be game over very soon because the black king is so exposed. In the game after bishop takes h7, the queen took it though, and Hikaru carried on with the plan, rook f5, threatening rook h5. Here black played rook g8 attacking the queen, and this is very important. Amazingly there's only one winning move here, so it's easy for white to go wrong. White's in a very strong position, the knight on c5 attacked, but the rook's now attacking the queen. So for instance, if we play a move like queen h4 here, this just loses to queen h3 because the g-pawn's now pinned. So white has to be very careful. White is still also threatening to play rook h5 as well. So we want to maintain this move, and Hikaru here plays a good move, just queen f3, maintaining this attack. And the knight's still under threat as well. And this is my favourite bit of the game actually, because now black tries to simplify, plays rook to g5. And Hikaru sees it as an easy way out. I think quite a lot of players would try and force something here, maybe rook takes f6 and continue the attack, maybe even thinking of rook takes c5. But no, there's a simple method, just rook takes g5 here, f takes g5, and Nakamura now just plays queen f8 check. The queen blocks, and white now recaptures their piece. Queen takes c5, and 3 pawns are under attack at the same time. Black can only protect 2 of them, plays queen to g7, and just queen takes a7, wins another pawn. Frankly, this is a win now for white. Black can resign if they wish. b6 is played, queen to a8 check, king h7, and Hikaru now plays queen c8, threatening to come back with f5 check. And after queen e5, just queen f5 from Nakamura, and black is now forced to trade queens, so here black just resigned. I hope you enjoyed this game. It was a very good demonstration of control and good technique from a very strong player, and just a very good example of how to clear up after you're ahead. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll post more videos very soon. See you next time.